Pardon me, ma'am. What are you doing in the men's bathroom?
Modern society gives people new ways to find themselves, and I'm asserting my right to self-actualization.
Well, never mind.
Hi there. Welcome to Secret Places in the Open Air. I'm your host, Ivan Taprod. The Mind Control Experts Convention with field reporter Chet Brinkmeyer.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Don't you know that this is a mind control experts convention?
Hi there. This is Chet Brinkmeyer from Secret Places in the Open Air. I'm here with our camera crew in beautiful Las Vegas, where mind control experts from around the world have come to discuss the secrets of their craft and to exchange new ideas for achieving lofty goals. Ideas such as the establishment of totalitarian regimes, the building of utopian societies, and the achievement of better sales records. Megalomaniacs of all stripes are here. Attendees include communists and free marketeers, religious cult leaders, a dominatrix with young men in chains, radical feminists with scissors, and even a guy who wears a tinfoil hat.
If I were there, I'd be mooching the free hors d'oeuvres.
And you, sir, what is your name?
I'm Zanzibar, holder of the crystal ball, controller of other people's minds.
Would you like to tell our home audience back in Lincoln, Nebraska, why it is that you want to control other people's minds?
You look into the crystal ball and you see yourself. And you wonder if your reflection is what other people see. You wonder and society answers you. It tells you the rules, sets up the rating system, defines the goals. You as a person do not exist in such a world. It is the scorecard that matters. It is the scorecard that is your salvation. It is the scorecard that is your joy. Control the scorecard and you control the television. You control the multidimensional matrix that is our social reality. The minds of men are at your command.
You can't control my mind.
Or mine either.
I am in control. I am the man with the mind control helmet.
And you, sir, who are you?
I am Zimrod, master of mind control.
I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Zimrod, as are all our viewers back in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Not Mr. Zimrod, just Zimrod.
And you, ma'am, you must be Mrs. Zimrod?
No, I'm just Monique. Zimrod is my boyfriend.
I thought that Zimrod was a pain reliever.
That's funny. I thought it was an antihistamine.
So, Zimrod, you want to be king of the world, is that right?
You got it, Mr. Pinklebrock. Everybody wants to be king. And it is that aspiration that separates men from machines. Men dream to say yes when the world says no. Yet the lone pawn can never be more than a pawn. The dream to be king can only be realized by coming together into larger groups and organizations so that the appointed leader can claim the prize. And I, mighty Zimrod, am that leader. I will silence independent thought. I will crush independent human aspirations and turn them into aspirations for me. I will control the oil fields, subdue all of nature, until I am the one lone keeper of the dreams of humanity.
So, Monique, what do you think will happen in the future?
I predict that someday, somebody is going to invent a mechanical bird that people will be able to wear in their hand like a ring. The bird will be able to move its head and flutter its wings.
Kind of like the bird you are wearing now?
My boyfriend Zimrod is an inventor. He made the mechanical bird that I am wearing.
To me, it looks like just a stuffed bird that is attached to your finger with a wire.
Whatever. It was my boyfriend Zimrod who invented it, though.
That's very nice, Monique.
Beautiful, except in the mirror.
She wandered the night, tortured by the unbearable burden of her own beauty, estranged from the plain and ordinary, a creature of perfection, inhabiting a drab and grimy planet. She was the most beautiful woman in the world, except when she looked into the mirror.
You need to be careful, ma'am, running around here at night. This city is crawling with creeps and weirdos. Here, I'll cover you while you make a dash for home.
She drank coffee to keep herself alert. Weather was never a hindrance to her getting out at night, but she preferred the summer because she didn't have to wear so many clothes. She was a stunning enchantress of prodigious beauty, the most beautiful woman in the world, except when she looked into the mirror.
Pardon me, can I see your ID?
Why, yes, ma'am.
Don't call me ma'am. I'm a policeman. Call me sir.
Yes, sir. Here's my ID.
What is your date of birth?
She whispered her answer.
What sex are you?
I'm a female.
What are you doing alone out here at night?
Just being me.
Well, that's reasonable. Here's your ID back. You can go.
Her costumes were many, from many different eras, from more decorous times. She could be a rock singer, an earth goddess, or a flamenco dancer, with a skirt like a rose. She was a flower, soft as a petal, in lustrous bloom, full, luscious, ripe. Fashion was never so very beautiful as was she. She liked to pretend that she was a cleaning lady, or that she was a black woman, or that she was blonde. She was a seductress, a puppeteer of men's emotions, independent and strong. She was the most beautiful woman in the world, except when she looked into the mirror.
You walk around here like you think you're really something. What is it about you that makes you think you're so cool? It's not the hair, may as well call you dandruff. And those shoes, what'd you do, steal them off of a dead clown? You need to step back a little, get a little perspective, see yourself like other people see you. Your crap stinks too.
How we got to Spygate. Donald defeats Hillary and goes after Barack. January 2017.
A number of people thought that January 2017 looked pretty bad. Donald Trump was sworn in as President of the United States. Liberals went crazy. They couldn't believe that the U.S. had elected a president who had such a totally different political outlook from their own. How could this have happened, they asked themselves. They decided that they had to fight back. They engaged in political protests and in hyperbolic criticism of the new president. Conservatives countered by moaning that everyone was treating the president unfairly. They said that Unlike Barack Obama, God had put President Trump into power. They said that the new president was a good man, and that he was an honest businessman, and that, anyway, he is a much better person than his evil alter ego, the most evil person who ever walked the earth, that horrible spawn of the devil who is Hillary Clinton. Then came February.
Wait a minute. You can't call Hillary the spawn of the devil.
That is almost as bad as saying lock her up.
Trump isn't going after Hillary Clinton anymore. Trump has already totally defeated Hillary. He's going to go after Barack Obama for ordering the FBI to spy on his campaign.
Oh my goodness.
That is horrible.
Trump's Spygate claim is bogus.
He is totally misusing his power as president.
Then, when Trump gets complete control over the FBI, he's going to prosecute that phony Obama for bugging Trump Tower.
You want to make the USA into a banana republic.
You want to make Trump into a dictator.
Finally, the FBI will prove to the world that Obama forged his birth certificate. Once and for all, the world will know that Obama isn't really a U.S. citizen.
You want to destroy the rule of law.
Lock him up. Part of your lunch is on your tie, guy. Looks like a little piece of chicken in some sort of barbecue sauce. I guess it fits in, though, with your general tendency to dress down and not exhibit your true social status. That car you drive, for instance, what a rundown heap that is. Way beneath you. Why don't you get something a little bit more classy, a bit more sporty, or better yet, tie a string of weenies around your waist, wear it as a belt, and call yourself Clyde?
A major snowstorm has hit the metropolitan area. The airport has closed down its runways, and traffic is frozen on all major arterial highways. In the old Burlington neighborhood, a recent Russian immigrant named Svetlana has invited two immigrant boys named Alexei and Peter to join her in her dungeon to wait out the storm. Here are immigrant boy Alexei's comments.
This is really boring. All we do is sit around, and sometimes Svetlana tries to whip me, or to spike me with her stiletto heels. I hope this winter storm ends soon.
But it looks like immigrant boy Alexei won't get his way. Weather forecasters predict the snow is going to keep coming down, so we'll be checking into what's happening in Svetlana's dungeon from time to time. And in the meantime, in the suburban neighborhood of Wellington, we're going to be talking to Frank and Doris to see how they're going to entertain themselves during the storm.
You know, for a fat lady, you really don't sweat that much. I'll bet that if you lost a little weight, you'd actually look kind of pretty. Those gigantic bras you wear, though, my God, what could a normal person use with them? Muzzles for hippopotamus heads? Tote bags for gigantic watermelons? Woman, you got to lose some weight.
Everywhere that he went, Jack saw penises. He saw them when he visited the famous Carhenge Monument in Alliance, Nebraska. He saw them in the Omaha, Nebraska skyline, in shooting rockets, in karaoke microphones, in ejaculating champagne bottles. He even saw penises in submarine sandwiches. When he watched people mowing their lawns, he knew that they were cutting green blades of penises, glistening with dew.
The key to thinking with your head instead of your penis,
he liked to tell people,
is to be keenly aware of the trillions of penises all around you. Only then can you truly begin to understand how small and insignificant your own penis really is.
I worry about the molten core of the Earth turning into solid rock.
I worry that Donald Trump will turn the FBI into a propaganda tool of the White House.
I worry about high fructose corn syrup.
I worry about teenage boys buying automatic rifles.
I worry that the parents of those children the U.S. took at the border will be sent back to their home countries, leaving the children to live in the United States.
I worry about drug addicts.
I worry about Islamic terrorists.
I worry about the orangutans.
I worry about U.S. border agents separating breastfeeding babies from their moms.
I worry about not being able to pay my rent.
I worry about not being able to pay my health insurance.
I worry that my outfit might be just a bit too much.
A major snowstorm has hit the metropolitan area. In the old Burlington neighborhood, where new immigrant families are buying decaying urban mansions, a recent Russian immigrant named Svetlana has invited 2 immigrant boys named Alexei and Peter to join her in her dungeon to wait out the storm. According to Svetlana's father, Dmitri,
I do not know why she act this way. She did not act this way in the motherland.
Here's what presidential candidate Cheese Meld Frump says.
I'm a billionaire. I was raised in gated communities. I know all about walls. And that's what we need to keep people like Svetlana and Alexei and Peter out. We need to build walls. Lots and lots of walls. So many walls that America is going to become like a gated community. I'm going to make America great again. Yeah, I used to get a little wild in my day too. But that Svetlana is way out of control. If you get a chance to talk with her, send her my way, and I'll show her what can get done behind a real wall.
Adam and Eve invent clothes.
When Adam ate the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, he saw that he was naked. Then he and his wife, Eve, began to wear clothes. They began to wear feathers, to wear seashells, and to wear animal skins. They began to dress for the weather, and for the job, and for the image that they wanted to present. Men began to shave. Women began to put on makeup. People began to decorate themselves with paint and tattoos. Jewelry was worn as a status symbol. Children began to dress up as cowgirls, or as superheroes, or mostly as adults. They began to try on new identities to pretend, with whatever clothing was available to them, that they were the people who they might someday grow up to be. Halloween became a holiday. The Easter Bunny became a character. Parades and festivals were opportunities for adults to dress up and pretend that they were children again. Clothes are costumes. They are expressions of the self. They are status symbols. They are uniforms. They reveal to the world what we want the world to see. When we are stripped of our clothing, are we then our true selves? Back to the way it was in the garden? With Adam and Eve? Before the fall? Or are we just naked and wanting to hide?
And you, sir, how do you hope to control other people's minds?
Don't call me Sir Brocklewurst. My name is Zardkin.
And what about mind control, Zardkin?
I'm glad you asked, Brocklebutt. You see this guy? You know what he's doing, don't you? Sure you do. You've seen lots of guys like this before. He's looking at women's butts. That's right, their butts. He's everywhere, checking out the butt scene, seeing what's happening on the butt front, assessing the environmental butt conditions, discreetly looking at butts through overhead mirrors. Wherever you might find a woman's butt, that's where you'll find this guy. He can't help himself. It's a reflex. He just does it. Now here's the amazing part. the part that you aren't going to believe. The guy's an android. He's not even human.
That's unbelievable.
It really is. That android looks just like a regular guy who is looking at women's butts.
Yes, unbelievable but true. Our androids are absolutely amazing. We're teaching them through role-playing how to do embarrassing things and how to react when they see something embarrassing. A look of embarrassment is incredibly subtle, as is a look of frustration. Here's an android pretending to be an anchorwoman for a news show. She says,
"The CDC is warning people about orgasms in food."
And then she shows that she's embarrassed. The subtlety of human expression is absolutely amazing. Here's a female android reacting as though she sees human sex acts in public. We've taught our androids how to blush, how to accentuate other person's embarrassment, and how to react when their mother's smartphone reveals way too much. And by the way, it's smartphones that we use to control our androids.
You can't control me with your cell phone, Zarkin.
Cassandra, what are you doing here?
You must be Mrs. Zardkin.
In Zarkin's fantasies, I may be his sexy young girlfriend, but in the real world, he means nothing to me. Less even than my slave girl. At least my slave girl understands the nature of reality.
So what are you doing here?
Well, Mr. Brillcream, I'm here to tell you and the people of Lincoln, Nebraska that people are not androids. It doesn't matter if you can make an android who exactly mimics a man looking at a woman's butt, and it doesn't matter that your androids can behave as though they are shocked at seeing public nudity. People like myself and my slave girl are way more complicated than all that.
People are like ants. Each ant in an ant colony is a stupid creature, barely indistinguishable from any other ant. It is the colony that matters, not the ant. Ants are like soldiers on the battlefield, like players for a sports team. Each ant does its duty and performs its job for the benefit of the greater purpose that is the building of the ant colony. The ants are workers, humble and dutiful laborers, exhibiting values of unity and cooperation, teamwork and coordination, laboring together to get the job done. Once my androids have learned the subtlety of human expression, they will infiltrate the communications media, and I will control them like ants, all from my smartphone. They will manipulate popular opinion, and I will rule the world.
You're not gonna get away with it, Zarkin.
Felicia, I am so glad you're here. You need to tell the people of Lincoln, Nebraska that they are safe.
I'm sorry, Cassandra. I'm just an environmentalist. Dealing with evil geniuses like Zarkin is above my pay grade. But I brought my sister, Salacious. She's a psychology major.
Ooh, a psychology major. I am so impressed. Not.
I'm not here to talk to you, Zardkin. I'm here for the people of Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm here to tell men to listen to their wives and to love one another. Yes, the world has seen its Hitlers, and it has seen its Stalins. Evil is everywhere. But we women have it figured out. We know how to keep our men in line. Evil environmentalists like Xanadu might attempt to use the environmental apocalypse as a way to scare people so that he can wash their brains and then wring out their every original thought and make them his minions. But people like my sister Felicia know how to keep men like Xanadu in line. Men think that they have to settle the scores with guns. But it's women who really know the score. Women have an intuitive sense of diplomacy. They are naturally persuasive, without even trying. We women also have a better sense of smell than do men. And we synchronize our menstrual cycles when men aren't around. People may seem blind to what is happening, like they are fumbling around in the darkness, or have their heads in the sand, but it's the men who are really clueless. Women have a handle on the situation. We know what's going on, and eventually we'll fix things our way. It's a tiny planet that we live on, a tiny planet in cold, dark space. And the sins of our fathers were great. Death camps in Nazi Germany, death camps in the Soviet Union, wars and death and starvation. But the world around us is an erotic world, exuberant for life. A woman is a flower, and all men are her children. Eventually, even the sins of our fathers are buried. The rain falls, the sun shines, the flowers bloom. Bright and colorful sex organs, soft and fragrant and serene.
I'm leaving you, Zarkin. I'm taking my slave girl and I'm going my own way.
No, Cassandra, don't leave me.
You've been a bad boy, Xanadu. It's time for you to become a good environmentalist.
You're right, Felicia. This is a wonderful world, and we need to enjoy ourselves while we can.
These mind control experts can't control me.
My boyfriend Zimrod is an inventor. He made the mechanical bird that I am wearing.
My work is done here. It's time to return to my apartment and study for my psychology exam.
Thank you for watching Secret Places in the Open Air. At the beginning of each month, we begin broadcasting a new show. Our time slot is 10:30 Wednesday and 10:30 Saturday. So be watching for a new show at the beginning of next month. We also have a YouTube channel. Just direct your browser to ivantaprod.com. Here's some testimonials from our panel of experts.
I like the Ivan Taprod YouTube channel because it makes me laugh. I'm afraid of what I might miss if I whack out and forget to watch Ivan on TV.
Let me see. I'm not really sure. I guess the real reason that I like the Ivan Taprod YouTube channel is that it takes me places that I might not otherwise go.
I like the hot chicks and the sexy models.
See you next time.